Hello, my name is Simcha Zevit, and I am a chaplain at HUP. And I am creating this series of videos to help staff find some techniques and practices that can help, I hope, with finding some inner balance and calm, reducing stress in these difficult times. So today I want to focus on mindfulness, and each of these videos will be less than 5 minutes. I know that time is of the essence, that people's plates and lives are incredibly full right now, and yet that doesn't mean that we can't take 5 minutes here or there for some self-care and some finding some of that inner peace and rest and nourishment. So this will be an introductory video to mindfulness, followed by 2 other videos that you can then, once you've heard this once, you don't need to listen to it again. It's just a little background and teaching. And then the following 2 videos will be just the practices themselves. So I want to begin with the definition of mindfulness. This is John Kabat-Zinn's definition. And what he says is that mindfulness is the awareness that arises by paying attention on purpose, in the present, without judgment. So each of those little chunks of this definition we could spend some time on. And just to go through it, so he says mindfulness is the awareness that arises. So mindfulness is both a way of being, a way of experiencing life through a particular awareness, and it's also the practice that helps us develop that awareness. So we sit in mindfulness meditation or mindfulness practice, which is for the purpose of helping us increase our awareness of each moment of life. So the awareness that arises by paying attention on purpose in the present. And so the paying attention on purpose has to do with the fact that mindfulness practices all have a particular focus. We may not be aware of it, but our minds are constantly going. We have a stream of voice, thoughts constantly in our minds, and usually that voice or those thoughts have something to do with the future or the past. Especially now when worries, anxieties may be arising, the to-do list is ever increasing, that the voice that's running around in our heads really doesn't stop. And so mindfulness is a practice that just helps us to raise the awareness of that voice and to find ways to kind of let it go. Notice, let go of the thoughts that are in our minds, rather to choose what it is that we want to focus on. And then the idea that we do this without judgment, because this is very hard. It's much harder than it sounds. And so every time the mind wanders, we compassionately notice where it's gone, and that includes having compassion for the kinds of thoughts we have, the kinds of anxieties, the kinds of habitual patterns that may hold us back from being able to accept what's happening in the present moment with compassion. So when the mind wanders, we notice where it goes, and then without judgment, maybe even with compassion, we just remind ourselves of our chosen focus. And what this does is it helps us to develop the capacity to be present in each moment, choosing to focus on what's happening right here and right now. There's a great little caricature that I like to share. If I had the visuals for it, I would do it now. But it's of somebody walking down the street. So imagine that you wake up in the morning and your alarm goes off, and automatically the radio or your phone, you're automatically engaging with all kinds of information. And your mind becomes full very quickly. So in this caricature, in this image, it's got somebody walking down the street, and the image, the little bubble above the head of the person who's walking a dog, has all kinds of things like schedules and time clocks and light bulbs and ideas and things going off. And the dog is walking down the street and simply sees the trees and the sun. If we were able to be present to just what is so, It would ease our minds. It would give us spaciousness, help us to think more clearly, and research shows would have so many benefits both for our mental and our physical well-being. So I hope that these practices will help you to have less of a mindful, a full mind, and to be able to be more mindful. So the first of the following videos will be a mindfulness practice focusing on sensations in the body called a body scan. And the second will be focusing on a sitting meditation that's mainly focused on the breath. Thank you.